think I forgot something. I remember! I forgot to review! Okay, so episode 4, there's so many things I was not expecting. Whew. We're left on such a cliffhanger for this show. But before we get into episode 4, yes, hello, it's me, Amanda. I know, it's been a while, and you're probably wondering, is Amanda gonna talk about Invincible? Amanda literally has an Adam Eve cosplay. She's gonna talk about Invincible, right? Yes, we're gonna talk about Invincible. So don't worry, I'm here, let's talk about it. So there's a lot going on this season, okay? First of all, we start off, everyone is really sad. Angstrom Levy arrives in this season, and what an entrance. And also, apparently it's Angstrom Levy? What?
Levy.
Huh?
Levy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you were shocked by that. I've been saying Levy for forever, and I feel like my whole life is changing now that I know this. The world is crashing down around me. But yes, it's Levy.
My name is Angstrom Levy.
Hi, Angstrom.
The Guardians are basically trying to get their shit together this whole time, with Immortal now taking over as leader for Robot. Debbie goes to a support group. That's pretty crazy. That's a whole crazy thing. Mark decides to work for Cecil to basically make up for everything his dad did. Mark goes to college. Big, moves in life. Growing up, moving on. His friends are all trying to figure out their lives and what they're gonna do. Adam Eve is especially trying to figure out her life and what she's gonna do. Yo, this first half of this season has been really, really rough for Adam Eve. Can I just say, I feel bad for Adam Eve. And yeah, I know you're probably wondering, Amanda, why aren't you wearing your Adam Eve cosplay? What's up with that? I thought maybe for this review. I thought too, but then, you know what? I was just like, I'm just not feeling like getting into it today. Look, it's a whole process. If you haven't seen my short on that, there's a link above me somewhere, like probably over this way. Click the link, check out the short, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a whole process to get into my outfit. But don't worry, I will be wearing my Adam Eve cosplay more, and I also did a whole Mortal Kombat 1 playthrough in my Adam Eve cosplay if you want to watch that, which I don't think I'll ever do again because I sweat so much. But moving on, Alan is being Alan. We get a whole Alan origin story in this first half of the season. It was so amazing, and I just want more of it. Absolutely, Alan. Yes, please. Give me a heap of that. That could be a whole series. I would watch it. Omni-Man is busy ruling the Thraxans. That's a whole thing. And Donald is, he's questioning his humanity, and honestly...
Who are you talking to?
Fair to be questioning your humanity considering everything that Donald has seen and experienced this season. So there's a lot going on. A lot of Viltrumite stuff as well.
You deserve death!
A lot of, like, inward and outward stuff, which is something that I really love about this season. We're going big in terms of the story, but we're also going very small in terms of the story and, like, little moments with the characters. So it's world building, but it's also just like feelings. It's a lot of feelings. This season so far feels like it's a lot about grief and how different people process their grief and move through it. And the ways in which a lot of these characters are going through it differently, but are also experiencing it in a similar way. We get a lot of juxtaposed shots that are like one for one. Like, I don't know if you noticed with Debbie and Omni-Man, there's a lot of shots of them like literally moving through the grief. Omni-Man flying through space, Debbie walking on Earth. And I'm pretty sure we get one-for-one shots of them while they're experiencing that, looking like exactly framed the same. So it's interesting to have that connection between them when they're so far apart. There's so much in this that's so beautiful. And let's talk about Debbie. So Debbie is still, I think, one of my favorite characters. And this season has just made me love her even more. Sandra Oh is just such an amazing performer, and her voice acting in this is like so many times she makes me cry. Every episode I've cried, honestly. Honestly, the voice acting across the board though is so fantastic. It's some of the best voice acting I've maybe ever heard. I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure some of the best voice acting I've ever heard. Everyone just is the character and sounds like the character, and everything is nuanced. I love how nuanced this show is. It's so many levels of it being nuanced. It's so great. Why can't all shows be like this? Look, I knocked my pillow down. That's how excited I was about the nuance. It's the fact that we can have characters that are so deep in this genre. I just want everyone to take like a page out of the Invincible book. I know not everything can be invincible, and that would actually kind of ruin the other things. So don't like take a big page, but just like big two. Take some notes, you know? This is a show that just keeps me on my toes. And it's really impressive too, because I always feel like I know where each episode is going. Like, well, I think I know where the story is going because I'm familiar with the story. I haven't read every single issue and every single scene, but I've read bits and pieces throughout the Invincible run. So I know what to expect, or at least I think I know what to expect. But then I don't, because yes, there are unexpected twists and turns in terms of where this show goes, and when we compare it to the pacing of the comics, it's still very different, and they do things differently. It's like a little bit of a different order, like a little bit of like, we're gonna do this scene, but we're gonna change up like the characters that are here, like when Mark fights the Viltrumites, but then there's different Viltrumites there, or just, I don't know, in terms of, I wasn't expecting Omni-Man to show up until the end of the season, maybe. I wasn't expecting him to come in, like, mid-season. He came in pretty early for what I was expecting. I wasn't even expecting Angstrom Levy to be the, like, first, like, one of the first story beats, major story beats for us. So that was also interesting. However, it does make sense, because you gotta plant those seeds. Planting the seeds. I cannot wait for that story to come to fruition. And I was also thinking that like Invincible War was going to be in this with all the alternates, which I think we are going to go there. It's also interesting how they opened sort of with the multiverse and then they just did all that and they're like, okay, well, that's a thing, and we just haven't come back to it for a few episodes. I know they're doing that because I feel like it's going to come in at the end, but who knows? I could be wrong. That's the thing. I don't know when things are going to happen. Ugh, I love it. I love it. But I think what's going to happen is that Invincible War will come in at the end of the season. You'll have to come back for me to talk about the review there and we can discuss, but that's just a prediction that I have. But yeah, there's just lots of little twists that they make, and it's really cool. And they do things in a quirky way. I also wasn't expecting to get a whole, like, when Mark and Amber are getting it on, to just be like, hey, now we're gonna go see what Alan's up to. I was like, wait, what? What is happening? That was delightful. It made me, like I said, it made me want a whole show of just that. I think episode 3 is actually my favorite, and so much happens in that episode as well. That's another cliffhanger we're gonna have to come back on. I think I know what's gonna happen there based on the comics. I don't want to spoil anything for any of you that are watching that haven't read the comics, but I think I know. I don't know if I should guess. I don't know if I should say things from the comics. You guys can let me know in the comments below if when I get into this, if you want me to talk more about the comics or less, or like what level you want of that, because it's kind of spoilers, but like I said, I think the show really does try to take the comics and do something different with it. So I don't think it's really spoilers because the show could always do something different, right? That's what I love about it. I just feel like there are so many characters that we're on like cliffhangers for. Like even with Adam Eve, I feel like she's so lost right now. I can't believe she went home. Like, girl, don't go home. Don't do that. Your family's, like, her mom tries at least, but her dad is possibly the worst character in the show. And that is saying something, because Omni-Man is a character in this show.
What's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
Rex cheated on me.
Forgive him.
What?
All guys make mistakes. Don't be a...
And I still feel like her dad is worse than Omni-Man. And Omni-Man has literally killed people. Literally killed other superheroes. And I still feel like Adam Eve's dad is worse. Who's the real villain here? Is it Adam Eve's dad? Is it? I feel like it is. And I mean, even with characters like Robot, Robot is going through a whole phase where he is, well, I mean, it's not really a phase. Now he has a body. So he's going through this process of figuring out, like, now that I have a functioning body, like, I can go out and do stuff. Him working up the courage to ask Amanda to the movies. So cute. Oh my goodness. I love Monster Girl as well, and I wish we had more Monster Girl this season. That is one thing, I feel like. I wish we had like a little bit more Guardians this season, even though they've still been doing stuff. I mean, Duplicate and Immortal, that is
inappropriate language for the workplace. So kiss your own boo-boo. Boo. Boo.
I knew it was coming, but I forgot, you know? It happened and I was like, oh yeah, that does happen. Oh yeah. My mind.
Wait, I know that look. Oh, are you shitting me?
But just how, even with Duplicate and Immortal, it's like what brings them together again is their, I feel like, grief. This idea that Duplicate says, you know, to Rexplode, he understands what it's like to die so much. Like, we've both died a lot. Because whenever any of her duplicates die, she feels it. And the Immortal knows what that's like. Anyways, it's wild. It's wild everywhere we've gone. I feel like with Robot and Amanda, I'm just like, with all of these relationships, I'm like looking at everything and the way everyone is now, and I'm like, oh, these sweet, sweet summer children. Winter is coming, and it's gonna be crazy, and I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to get to later seasons, and every moment of the show, like every moment of every episode is gonna make me cry. I'm just gonna be a mess. That's gonna be wild. The fight, I think, in episode 4 with Mark and Omni-Man was just such a on the edge of your seat experience, and I felt like I knew it was gonna happen, and then there was stuff that caught me off guard. Like, now Mark has to get back to Earth by himself. I didn't remember that whole thing happening, so I was like, wait, is this what happens? And I was watching it with Uptown Duck, and he was like, yeah, this is what happens. You don't remember this? And I was like, I do not remember this at all. So that really threw me for a loop. The fact that Mark now, at the beginning of the next episode, is gonna have to try to get his way home, and he's also like been beat to a pulp. Like, I know he's going to recover because he has to, right? Also, I'm gonna finish this by talking about the title card and what it means. So for me, I think it's representing every piece of Mark that's falling away, and he's gonna have some kind of reckoning where he has to deal with the fact that, like, now he's changing, and maybe he's not quite as, I think he's ignoring, this is what my theory is, I think he's ignoring how much hurt he's feeling and like kind of suppressing it a little bit. I do like that he called Omni-Man out on his stuff and like basically told his dad what it is, but I feel like there's going to be a breaking point for Invincible. I need to see really quick. I feel like the color that's coming out underneath is red, isn't it? Yeah, so it's red letters and then the blue is coming out underneath. I don't know if maybe that's like cracks in like reality. It could be that. Or it could be, like I said, like maybe there could be stuff that's being suppressed and that's supposed to represent like kind of Mark's psyche cracking. But I'm very interested to see how that goes as it continues to crack and fall apart. It's gonna be interesting. Also, Bulletproof is so cool. Everyone in this show is so cool. There's so many great characters. I could honestly talk about these 4 episodes all day, but unfortunately, I do have to stop talking at some point. Otherwise, this video would never end. Although, honestly, if this video never ended, maybe that would be great. Then we'd be a really long video, so, like, the ad rev could be crazy. But I digress. I'm going to stop there for this time. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Maybe we'll do a theories video where we kind of talk about where we think season 2 is going. What have you guys been thinking about Invincible? And what are some theories that you have for the rest of the season? And how do you feel about us having a break now? Are you excited for the break, or are you like itching for more and you wish the break wasn't happening? I'm kind of excited just because I feel like there's so much content, and that's why I haven't done this yet, because I just struggle to keep up sometimes. But hey, you know, I work full time on top of doing my content here because I have nerd and I do all that stuff full time. So I do my best. I hope it's good. I'll leave it there, friends. Until next time, I'll see you. And of course, as always, stay nerdy. Bye!